All right, let's head to Capitol Hill, where Scripps Deputy Political Director Joe St. George joins us now with all of the day's news and what's ahead. And Joe, let's first break down that Ukraine mineral deal. What do we know about it? And is there somebody who wins? Is there a winning side?
Well, the context with this deal is important, right? I mean, this thing was supposed to be signed weeks ago. It was the whole reason that President Zelensky and President Trump met in the Oval Office for now that infamous moment, that dust-up with Vice President Vance and President Trump and President Zelensky. The signing of that deal was canceled, and for the last several weeks, this thing was in limbo. Well, it's in limbo no more. We have seen a bit of a change in tone in recent days by President Trump, a bit more critical on social media toward Russia and some of the violence of this war. We saw a very respectful meeting at the funeral of Pope Francis at Vatican City between Zelensky and between President Trump. It wasn't Zelensky and Trump ultimately who signed this deal. Essentially, their deputies did. Scott Bessent, the Treasury Secretary, represented the United States on this front, as you said at the top there, Holly. This does a number of things. It doesn't necessarily commit, certain arms or quotas or military presence to Ukraine, but it does establish a bit of a financial relationship with the Ukraine and U.S. going forward. It sends a message to Moscow that the United States does have a vested interest in a flourishing, economically at least, Ukraine, and gets access to those rare earth minerals. President Trump has often spun this as a way of getting the American taxpayer something back for the billions of dollars that American taxpayers have spent on this conflict between Ukraine and Russia. Here's more from President Trump.
They have very good rare earth. As you know, we're looking for rare earth all the time. Rare earth is called rare for a reason. And they have a lot, and we made a deal where our money is secure, where we can start digging and doing what we have to do. It's also good for them because you'll have an American presence at the site.
Now we'll wait and see how Moscow responds to all of this. Again, President Trump campaigned on quickly and swiftly ending the conflict between Ukraine and Russia. But Holly, while conversations have happened and high-level negotiations has occurred, it doesn't seem like anything is immediately on the horizon when it comes to a dramatic pause in the fighting between Russia and Ukraine, Holly.